The Chitrik Academy is dedicated in loving memory of Rabbi Tzvi Hirsh Chitrik. Welcome to today's lesson. Today we are going to learn from the Lisni Kula Shali over here. Make a circle on the side. Until Umi Matzis over here. Let's recap. Our Mishnah mentioned two cases. One is that a person says, Ani mitzasiya, I found it, and another person argues that no, Ani mitzasiya, I found it. And then the Mishnah says a case that one person said Kula Shali, that it totally belongs to me, if two people found an item, and the other one also says Kula Shali. The Gemara had asked, is our Mishnah speaking about two cases or one case? We said it's speaking about one case. Then we asked, so why does the Mishnah use two expressions? It seems like two different expressions. Ani mitzasiya, I found it, and it says Kula Shali. So the Gemara says that if it would have just said Ani mitzasiya, we would think that a person can claim ownership of something by seeing it, even though he didn't lift it, he didn't hold the item. That's why it says Kula Shali, that a person actually has to say that's totally his, that he actually acquired it. So now we understand why the second one needs to be written as well. Because from the first one, we would think that a person could be claiming it just by seeing it. However, now the Gemara is going to ask, why doesn't it just say the second case? Just say that each one said it totally belongs to me. And there, I don't need to worry about the word mitzasiya if it means seeing an item or not. Let's see this in the Gemara. Says the Gemara is going to ask a question, so we'll make a question mark on the side. V'lisnei Kula Shali, let the Mishnah write just Kula Shali. V'loi boi ani mitzasiya, and I don't need the first expression, the first case of the Mishnah that says that each one says that I found it. That's what the Gemara's question ends. Answers the Gemara. The answers on this line, answers the Gemara, Itane Kula Shali. If the Mishnah would have said only Kula Shali, Hava Mina Ba'alma, I would think that always Diktani Mitzasiya, when it would say Mitzasiya in the Gemara, B'ri'ya Ba'alma Kani, that a person can claim that he owns something just by seeing it. If a person sees something on the street, he could say, oh, I saw it first, and therefore it should belong to me. Therefore, in our Mishnah, Tana Ani Mitzasiya, it says Ani Mitzasiya, V'hadar Tana, and then afterwards it says Kula Shali, that it totally belongs to me. Mishnah Yeseda Shmina Andriya Oikani. From the extra expression in our Mishnah, we learn out that just by seeing something, a person does not acquire it. Now let's see this on the board. The problem that the Gemara had, the question that the Gemara had was, why does the Mishnah use two expressions? So the answer that we had given in the last lesson is that Ani mitzasiya alone, we would think means that if a person sees something on the floor, they could say that they found it first because they saw it first. That's why the Mishnah says Kula Shali, to tell us that seeing is not good enough. You actually need to have Kula Shali, you actually need to acquire it. It has to be yours. So this lesson we learned, the Gemara asks, so let it just say Kula Shali, and we know that a person needs to acquire it, not just see it. So Gemara answers that you're right. It could have said just Za'imer Kula Shali, and we would have known that a person needs to actually acquire the item that he finds and not just see it. However, our Mishnah wants to teach us something different. Our Mishnah wants to teach us that in general, the word mitzasiya, in general, when a person sees something, it does not help. What does this mean? In general, if a person is walking down the street and there's an item on the floor and he sees it, and then someone else comes along and also sees it, this person A, cannot say, I found it first because I saw it first. person B, if he actually lifts it up, he is the one who will get to keep it and not person A. How do we know this halacha that seeing is not good enough? From the fact that our Mishnah says both expressions. Ani mitzasiya only works if it's kula shali, if a person totally acquires it, because seeing it is not good enough. Like we see over here, it's to teach us that seeing something does not make it yours. That's the end of this lesson.